In math, a lot of times we have what's called equivalent forms, and we have different ways of writing quantities that represent the same amount. And so on the screen right now, you can see that I have two circles. Both of them are broken into fourths. The one circle is completely shaded in and represents a whole. Okay, so if you think of this in terms of pizzas, we have one whole pizza. And then on the second circle, we have three of them shaded in. And so we have 3/4 of that pizza. And so if I wanted to write these in terms of improper fractions and mixed numbers, I could count up how many total fourths I have. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so I'm going to write first that I have 7/4. And then I can also write that as a mixed number. When you have a mixed number, you're going to have a whole number and a fraction with it. And so when I'm looking at this one, I can see that I have one whole item and then 3/4. And both of those represent the same amount of shaded circle space there. So I can put an equal sign to show that those two numbers are equal. 7/4 equals 1 and 3/4. Now, looking at this, I can also go ahead and go over our improper fraction and mixed number. So I've already talked about the mixed number form where 1 is my whole number, and then I have 3/4, so I have a part of the next one. I don't have enough for 2, I have 3/4. Then if I look at the 7/4, this is called an improper fraction. With your improper fraction, it also, again, represents the same thing. You have more than one. And so if I had this first circle, this would be 4/4. And then this one I have 3/4. And so when I combine that and I have 7/4, notice that the numerator, your top number, is bigger than the denominator. And so that is going to show what we call an improper fraction, where the numerator is larger than the denominator. And what that translates into is that you have more than one. And so we have that shown here in our equivalent forms. Now we can also go back and forth between these two forms and convert any of our improper fractions into mixed numbers, and we can change our mixed number back to an improper fraction without drawing pictures and sorting through it. And so here's our process for that. So if I start with 7/4, I can always change an improper fraction to a mixed number by thinking about how many whole items I have, and whatever is left over, I'm going to represent as the fraction piece. Now, if you're working this problem out, you can always set up your long division. So the top number, your numerator, is going to go inside your division, and then your divisor, your outside number, is going to be the denominator. And you can walk through your long division. Now, your whole item, or how many times 4 goes into 7, is going to be the whole number, your big number of your mixed number. So 4 goes into 7 one time. And then put your fraction bar right next to it, and that's going to be your remainder of what's left over. Now, your denominator always stays the same. So if I see my denominator is 4, go ahead and put your 4 in there right away. So that way, that'll help you not to get mixed up on what to put for your numerator. So then you go ahead and keep going with your division. So 1 times 4 is 4, and you're going to subtract, and your remainder is going to go up here for your numerator. And so you can see how you get the 1 and 3/4 by going through your long division process. Now, as you get more and more comfortable with this process, you can also do this mentally without writing out your long division. And you just want to think through that process of how many times does your denominator go into the numerator as a whole number. And then whatever your remainder is, or what's left over, is going to be your numerator of your fraction piece. And then your denominator is going to stay the same. Now, when you go through the process, if you have a mixed number and you want to switch it back to an improper fraction or to an improper fraction, let me show you the steps for that. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my 1 3/4. I have a little bit more room. Now, I recommend putting in these arrows to help guide your process. And you basically are doing the reverse of your long division. And so instead of dividing, you're going to be multiplying. Instead of multiplying, you're going to be adding. And so you're going to go ahead and go around your circle there. And again, when you are writing this up, always go ahead and put your improper fraction bar, and your denominator, again, always remains the same. So you can always put that in right away. And then go ahead and go around your circle here. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And now you're back to an improper fraction.